Actually, contempt is one of the things that I hate most.
Well, my feelings towards contempt is just a neutral feeling. I don't hate it, I don't love it either.
I just want to say that you can express your contempt towards me, of course, but don't do that if you haven't talked to me before.
To be honest, if someone held me in contempt, I wouldn't feel anything at all, and I would just ignore them, as I think caring about those people is kind of time-consuming.
Not many people in my life just act contemptuous towards me. But if they did, I would just laugh it off and think that they're just joking.
It's not a matter of having the perfect physique or an ideal face.
Yes, this has happened for a lot actually, to the point where I myself practically believe that I dislike or hate a person just because those around me says that I dislike that person.
Well, no, because peer pressure is just a thing that exists temporarily. It doesn't stay forever.
I think that I'm unique and I'm the most beautiful girl in the world. So there's no reason to compare myself to the world, to others.
With the development of the social media and the internet, it's almost impossible for us not to compare ourselves with other people.
Yes, comparisons permeate our lives.
Honestly, I have been making comparisons between myself and others. I use it as a motivation to push me forward, but sometimes it's just because of my jealousy.
I do this because sometimes it's helpful since it provides me with a yardstick for measuring my progress towards goals.
Well, when referring to happiness, I think of a cup of coffee in a rainy afternoon. I think of being curled up in my cozy blanket in a winter morning.
Happiness blossoms for different individuals at different ages, and now that my family is having good health is my happiness, especially in this time of pandemic.
I think it's the feeling of joy, satisfaction, and fulfillment.
For me, happiness is just when your parents are healthy and you have enough money to focus on your dream.
Well, to me, happiness is just a way of thinking. Thinking that you belong to something or someone or even yourself.
Happiness for me is just being able to enjoy simple pleasures in life.
Happiness doesn't stay forever, it can't go away. So it's better to just enjoy that short amount of time instead of just ignore it.
After realizing that I am the master of my fate, I began to consider my aspirations.
I'm cognizant of my goals when I started asking myself, who am I? Who will I be? And what is my purpose of living on earth?
I would say that I don't set big goals for myself, but they are exactly what I really want, and I definitely know that I will make every effort to achieve them.
Half of the time I think that the goals that I have in my mind are my choices and what I wanted to do personally, but then the other half, I wanted to do it. I think that I wanted to do it because my parents wanted me to do it, and it would make them proud if I am able to achieve those goals.
My sister is a bratty girl. She fell in love with a handsome guy, like love at first sight. Before entering into a marriage at age 24, they were actually a happy couple that makes everyone jealous. However, her parents showed no approval in this kind of love, and things seemed to turn out after marriage. The man who was very kind and used to love her so much, now was such a heavy drinker. He always came home late and yelled at his wife in cheering. Even she got bettered, his bad habits and characteristics are being revealed more and more day by day. She didn't expect that one day her husband would let her down so much like that. She felt it more vulnerable when she received no help and sympathy from relatives. She was diagnosed as having clinical depression, and she had to use lots of sedatives. Doing the house chores, raising children alone, being beaten every day by the one who she spends left most, she had lived for ages like that, enduring, crying, depressing, and enduring again. But one day, she fell in love with her psychiatrist. It was the man that always by her side when she was most desperate, when she gave up committing suicide because of his words of consolation. That's when she found out the definition and the beliefs of happiness, about how to love herself. From the last marriage, my sister's heart has broken and her body was treated mercilessly. But now, both are healing since he came. She was revitalized, but social prejudice is what prevents her. She was afraid that she will be scrutinized and criticized again. What would she do? Whether she accept her current life and continue to live in pain and humiliation, or take courage to start a new life with her true love. And do you think it's self-love for her to get away from the toxic relationship and does whatever she like?
Hi, my name is Phong, and I'm 18 years old. I and my best friend had memorable moments together during our high school years. But it came as a surprise to me when I realized that I had feelings for him. Other classmates started making fun of me. They used lots of discriminated words and called me and him gays. After that, my parents cast aspersions on me and they told me to stop behaving like that. I was totally despair and impotent. We decided not to get in touch anymore, and when I get married, I saw him again in the wedding ceremony and we didn't even look at each other's faces. So pathetic. That was the word I used to describe myself. My life is nothing but a mess. I hope you can take it as an example and do things that you want as long as it makes you happy. Don't live a life with regret.
Hi, I'm Linda. I was born in a quite wealthy family. Do you think that it's a luck? Nah, I don't think that my family could be considered good enough. Well, I have little freedom since then and all of my time were forced to spend on studying, and I was then choosing to be a doctor. But that's not my dream. I have always mesmerized by paints, by the color, the way that it's harmonized. Being able to draw all days always been my ultimate goals. That's the only thing that can keep me optimistic and lively throughout my teenage. But I don't have the courage to run away or be more rebellious at that time, and I ended up studying crazily. I would continue like that forever if I hadn't been invited to an art gallery. I was so obsessed with them. I don't want to continue like this anymore, and I have set up a goal to earn enough money for a new life in Sweden. That was a nightmare. I have to do 3 part-time jobs at the same time, meanwhile studying medicine. It's never an easy thing to study, and sometimes I was so exhausted that I want to give up. But finally I succeeded, and I have been here, Sweden, for 4 months now. I have also attended an art course last month. I feel happy and peaceful than ever. I realized that I have learned how to love myself more, and by that, I have known what love yourself is truly is. It's just to live for yourself.
Self-love is more than just wearing nice attire and applying bouts of expensive makeup and then claiming that you love yourself.
Self-love is have to have high regards about your own well-being and happiness, and taking care of your own needs, not sacrificing your well-being.
Oh, self-love, isn't that just narcissism? But anyways, I think loving yourself is just accepting who you are and try not to disappoint yourself.
Self-love is when you take care of your body and have confidence in yourself.
It is to know, to embrace and accept yourself, but with all of your flaws and imperfections.
Self-love means taking care of your own needs, feeling free to express your feelings, share your opinions.
It is sad that most of us are trying to conquer external battles like seeking love, success, or happiness, but we do not understand that self-love is the root from which everything grows.
But not only that, you also accept the way that the people around you act toward you, and you try your best to not disappoint anyone or yourself.
Loving myself is harder than loving anyone else. I don't know since when I start seeing myself through other people's eyes and neglecting my own desire. The standard I made, they seem to be stricter when they are applied on me, and I change constantly just to live up to other people's expectations so that they will like me more. Luckily, I encountered a speech that changes my life and my mind. After hearing that speech, I have understood that true love begins with self-love. And self-love is appreciate and accepting yourself for who you are, for who you were, and for who you hope to become.
So just try to be happy.
Don't be trapped in someone else's dreams.